So I want to read a few poems by Redhawk. This is from the book Wreckage with a Beating Heart. This book, and it's just a few poems I'd like to read. This one is called The Wise Man's Wisdom is Often Hidden. In this world, wisdom is not valued half so much as bullshit. The cheap laugh is much preferred over wit. I once heard of a great saint who lived for years on the town garbage heap and never once voiced complaint. Most wise men keep quiet, not because they wish to hide, not because they wish to hide anything, but simply because there's a riot of noise made by human pride, which makes the very air corrupt, and the wise man does not wish to interrupt. This one is called Li Po at the River's Edge. 15 centuries ago in China lived a poet named Li Po who loved to sit by the river in the evening, drink wine which he loved, and write poems in his notebook which he loved even more. Then tear out the page and make a little paper boat, set it on fire, and let it float down the current until it sank. Some nights a whole string of boats on fire with the music blazed a trail downstream, setting fire to the world. Some nights a lone blazing verse set forth into the dark, on fire with a single spark of inspiration. And some nights the sultry dark pressed down upon the sullen water in a seamless dreaming. No fire, no sound, except the rice wine gurgling in the throat of the bottle, and every now and then a soft, rich, satisfied laugh. No light, not even an ember, to mark his way home. Mm. This one is called The Bad Poet Sings. It comes to me as a profound shock that I spent all of my adult life training, working night and day, studying, reading, writing all the damn time to be a really good poet. No, that's not right. To be the finest poet who ever lived. And yet, after 45 years of effort, it was obvious to me that at my best, I was second rate, and that was my best. So it comes as a profound shock to me that I am the apprentice to the master, the finest bad poet in this world. And it is bad poetry, mind you, which is his path to God. Not good poetry, never mind great poetry. I'm in training to be a bad poet. Lord have mercy upon my second rate heart. I had it all wrong for most of my life. Instead of fighting to improve, I should have been giving up and getting worse. I have seen how the best poets who ever lived all went nowhere, did not develop the soul, but the talent instead, and they were left bereft of inner virtue, without a clue where wisdom lay. You read their line, and though it be pretty, it is hollow and empty of wisdom. And now I cannot even be the finest bad poet who ever lived. My guru is the king of the bad poets, and I serve at his whim. I sing his praises in every line and breath. Bow down and worship the great fool, the lord of bad poets. This one is for you, dear sir. It doesn't get any worse than this. And one more. Master Zhu Yang's teaching on mercy. In his 112th year, Master Zhu Yang presided over Young Men Monastery and 120 monks. That year, 1952, a band of more than 100 red thugs surrounded the monastery, looking for gold, silver, and arms, which rumor said were hidden in the temple. They searched high and low for 2 days, from the roof tiles to the floor bricks. Finding nothing, they locked Zhu Yang in a bare room lit by a single lamp, with no food or water. He was forced to shit and pee on the floor. On the third day, 10 thugs entered and demanded the treasures. When he said that he had none, they beat Zhu Yang with wooden sticks, then with iron bars, until his head and face were covered with blood, and his ribs were broken. All the while he sat in meditation posture. They beat him 4 times that day, and then left him for dead. His disciples carried him to bed and helped him sit in the meditation posture. On the 5th day, the thugs found him still alive, and they were furious, beat him with wooden sticks, kicked him, and trampled him with heavy boots. Laughing, they left him for dead. Again, his disciples carried him to bed and helped him sit in the meditation posture. On the 10th day, he appeared to lay there dead, but his body was still warm, so 2 of his disciples kept watch by his bedside. On the 11th day, he sat up. The thugs who beat him saw this and began to whisper among themselves. They grew afraid. Their leader asked Zhu Yang why he did not die from the beatings. He said he wanted to spare them the bad karma they would incur for killing him. The men began to tremble and were never seen in those parts again.